we have arrived at the winter solstice. The longest night of the year is here. The darkest point from here, light begins to return. I love this moment because it asks us to pause, not to rush, not to fix, not to plan our way out of discomfort, but just notice. Check in. Notice how strong you are. Notice what you have built. Notice what you've lived through. And often, quietly, without applause. This is where Capricorn season begins, December 21st. Not with fireworks, but with reverence. And there's something so deeply sacred about starting this season. We're about to start a new year. We're right here. We just came out of Sagittarius season, which asked us to dream bigger, to connect with our joy, and to remember what makes life worth living. That was such a beautiful season. And during the new moon that happened on December 19th, I asked you a question. What frequency do you want to live in? And maybe you noticed that the frequency that you want to live in and the frequency that you are operating in right now aren't always the same. And that moon wasn't about forcing change. It was a choice point, a portal. And now Capricorn season is here and asks you, okay, this is the frequency that you want to live in. How do you sustain it? I don't know, Capricorn. That's why I need you to tell me how to sustain it. No, I'm kidding. But Capricorn gets this reputation for being so serious, rigid, all work, no play. I resonate with Capricorn energy very strongly in a certain way. I have Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn, is conjunct 1 degree my sun. And even though Saturn is at 0 degrees of Sagittarius for me, I'm a 29-degree Scorpio, I still get infused with Saturn's essence, which is Capricorn essence. And there is definitely that part of me that is very serious, very rigid, all work, no play, no reward without blood, sweat, and tears. But what you want to remember, Capricorns, is that it's not about grinding yourself into the ground. That's not the point. It's about giving form only to that which matters. Capricorn is the sign of the foundation, the structure. Capricorn rules the hard things. It rules the bones in our bodies and the teeth in our mouths. This is devotion, and this is the long game. It's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the keeper of time. And I find that so fascinating. Of course, it's very intentional, but during Capricorn season, we literally change time. We literally change years on the calendar. We mark time. We step into the future. This is the season that separates us from what was, from what will be. And to do it in a way at the darkest hour. So it's not coming from a place of urgency, it's coming from a place of precision and planning. And it is more inner strength related. It's not as outward focused, goal go getter energy that we often, or is often symbolized by the start of a new year. The sea goat is Capricorn. And that is very intentional. This creature can move between the depths of the oceans and the heights of the mountains, and that matters. Because Capricorn teaches us that you don't manifest your dreams by escaping reality. You manifest them by meeting reality with devotion, one step at a time, one choice at a time, one habit at a time, and you don't climb that mountain with haste. You climb it with presence, being here, being now in this time. And this season is going to ask you, what are you building? What are you committed to? And what are you no longer willing to carry? What does not support the structures of your life? Capricorn gets this reputation for being cold, having no emotion. And that's just not true. Capricorn is incredibly emotionally intelligent. They're just not emotionally reactive. They pause. They observe and ask, is this worth my time? Is this aligned with where I'm going? That can feel sobering, even cutthroat. But sometimes don't we need that? Gosh, sometimes I just want to turn it all off. And I want to be so discerning. And I need that in my life to bring in clarity, to declutter, to simplify, to refine, to turn down the reaction. And it's a reminder, thank you, Capricorn, that you are the architect of your life. You get to decide. And you choose what stays on that blueprint. You are that powerful. And as we follow the cues from nature, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere, this is not a time of outward growth and expansion. This is a quiet season. Roots are deepening. Habits are forming. The nervous system is learning that which it can safely hold. And that's why this is so powerful, because you only excel to the measure of that which your nervous system will allow. And so there's this building, this foundation. Your nervous system is your foundation. You have big dreams. Your nervous system needs to align to that frequency as well. And that's where this beauty of emotional intelligence, not emotional reaction, comes into play. How are you spending your energy, and does that support where you're going? Do your routines, your daily habits, do they support your priorities? Do you know what your priorities are? Where are you giving your energy? And you are building something. Is it sustainable, or is it just impressive? And I think that's a really powerful distinction to think about. And I often give myself that check-in. I'm doing so many things right now. I'm growing so many things. My dreams are so big. Is that a dream of mine for me? Or is that for the external? Am I motivated by something that's for me, or am I motivated to impress? And as someone with Saturn on the sun, Capricorn, infused with my ego, building my legacy is everything. I am filled with purpose. I have a drive to create my own legacy. And that's why this is such a powerful time of the year for all of us, because this is a building phase. This is that time to check in and to ground into our foundation and our nervous system and do this processing, because what is built in the dark becomes visible once the light returns. And Capricorn's the sign of mastery. So to be a master, there's a few things. This is Capricorn energy, Saturn. You know your Saturn return. Your Saturn return comes along in your life during your life cycles to check in. How are you progressing on all of the things that you promised that you were going to do this lifetime? Saturn comes in to hold us accountable for our soul's promise, our life lessons, and brings that checklist with that says, how are you with consistency? How are you with your habits? Because mastery, wherever you have Saturn in your birth chart, this represents the area of your life where you will become a master. You're set out to master this area of life. And we do that through consistency. We do that through repetition. We do that responsibly, and we recognize that that takes time, because nothing, as much as Instagram makes it seem so, nothing is embodied overnight. Nothing. And this season reminds us that our devotion is so powerful. It's so powerful. It may be boring at times, but it's so powerful. This season is a time to really check in. If you're someone who holds big dreams, your inner structure, like I said, your nervous system, your routines, your boundaries, that all has to be strong enough in order to support that frequency that you aligned to during Sagittarius season. And now you're learning how to sustain it. How does the structure need to fluctuate to get locked in, actually, not even fluctuate, to get solid and locked in, to be able to hold what you're calling in, what you expect, what you command to be your frequency. Everything else has to level up to that as well. And so, looking ahead to what you can expect as check-ins for this season, we have the full moon. The full moon during Capricorn season is a full moon in Cancer, and that's going to be on January 3rd. And this one's going to invite in some softness and some nurturing, much needed here. The opposite, kind of blending, of course, these two energies of Capricorn and Cancer together. Time of reflection, time to honor and nurture, most likely what you are building, but we'll talk about that for that podcast. And then we have the new moon coming at the tail end of Capricorn season on January 18th. And that is right before the sun transitions into Aquarius. And so we're going to carry everything through into the next season. And that's the theme for this year, planting seeds that you're ready to commit to for the long haul. So get all your ducks in a row here through Capricorn season and be ready for that new moon in Capricorn. because that's what you're really committing to. And thinking about Capricorn season, this theme of the sea goat, there's no mountain that's too high, there's no ocean that is too deep. That when you're aligned with your values, when you're aligned with your frequency and what you're calling in, what is meant for you will always find you. It has no choice. It's the law of the universe. And so as we step into this new season, I invite you to take inventory. Look back at everything that 2025 asked of you. Oh, do we have to? Yes, we do. Ashley, yes, you do. You have to look and acknowledge, release and accept, and look forward, because that's done. It's over. Don't carry what is not meant for you anymore. Looking forward to this next calendar year, honestly, intentionally, and make sure that your actions are aligning with your priorities. Use that emotional non-responsiveness, non-attachment in order to process where you're spending your energy. Where's your currency going? And this doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done with devotion and commitment. And if you want help navigating the area of your life where you have Capricorn, that's where you are meant to build. This is where you're meant to refine. You're meant to be ambitious and create lasting foundations here. This is your legacy. And this is such a powerful time for you and I to connect on a chart level, because you have a specific area of life that you signed up for to do just that. And so come and see me, whether that's in person or online, virtually. I know if you've been following me on my socials, you have seen my new space where we get to meet. I'm so excited to invite you in there and talk astrology and all of the things. All of the things being, like I said, the calendar is getting locked in for me. January, February, March. So let's bring in some Capricorn terminology. Q1 is already almost in the books. It's already almost planned and booked up. So, sound baths, women's circles, new moon, full moon ceremonies, educational opportunities, of course, astrology readings, astrology and wine nights. They're happening. So, if you are not signed up for my newsletter yet, you should do so. I invite you to do so. Head over to my website, ashleybelastrology.com. You can sign up for a reading there. You can get signed up for my newsletter there, and I will send you all of the happenings as they are approaching, so you can grab tickets or sign up for your spot. This season, I guess it's really this year in reality, is very much community based for me and very intentional. So I am ramping up my devotion to being organized and planned. A lot of events being scheduled, and I'm so excited for all that is coming. So many opportunities I can't wait to share with you. Thank you for participating, for attending, and for your support through all of this. Know that everything that you are building right now in this darkest time. Everything that you're building right now matters. Even if no one can see it yet, it's real. The light is returning. And we're just getting started. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Capricorn season episode. Wishing you the most productive and strong and emotionally non-reactive Capricorn season. From my heart to yours.